Mama, have you been putting all the love and care into nurturing and growing your little one's hair, but then when it comes to your hair is neglected, or you feel like it's breaking, it isn't healthy, or the growth has just been stunted? Let's be real for a moment today. I'm going to break down the key reasons why your hair may not be thriving, and most importantly, how to turn it around. You don't want to miss this, mamas, because it's time to reclaim the health of your hair. Hey mamas, welcome back to my channel. So mamas, this one is all about your hair, not your little one's hair today. It's all about your hair, because your hair deserves just as much love and attention as you give to your little one's hair. Let's get real, mamas. You're doing an amazing job with your little one's hair. Whether you have recently started caring better for your little one's hair, or you've been on this journey for a while, you're doing an amazing job. You found the right products, you found the right routine, hair care practice, etc. But what about your own hair? Get so wrapped up in their hair journey that we forget about our own crowns and forget that our crowns also need TLC. You know, as I said before, your hair deserves to thrive too, mamas. So here's my solution for you, mamas. I want you to make a commitment to your hair. Hair should be top priority. I want you to put yourself and your hair first for once. As mothers, we always put ourselves last. Our children, our husbands, our partners, they all come before us and we come last. I want you to prioritize your hair and putting yourself first. I want you to set aside 1 day a week, maximum 1 day every 2 weeks, even if it's just 1 hour for hair care. And I want you to see your hair care as self-care, and watch how things start to turn around when it comes to the health of your hair. The other reason, mamas, why your hair isn't thriving is because of neglect. And neglect happens. Neglect happens to all of us. It happens to the best of us. It can happen when you least expect it. I get it, mama. I've been there myself before. You know, between being a busy mom, you know, cooking, looking after the kids, working, cleaning the house, you know, being there for our husbands, our partners. I get it, honestly. But honestly, mamas, when you neglect your hair, it leads to all kinds of issues. It leads to dryness, which then leads to breakage, which then leads to you not being able to retain length and being at the same length for years. So that's stunted growth. You know, when it comes to having healthy hair, it needs consistent love, consistent TLC. Unfortunately, it doesn't just get healthy or retain length on its own. We've got to put in the work when it comes to our hair too. So here's my solution, mamas. You need to stop neglecting your hair. And I know it's easier said than done, but as I said before, you need to put your hair first. Your hair should become a priority. It's all part of your look, right? This brings me nicely onto my next point. Let's talk about your regimen, mamas. You know, you might be wondering why your hair isn't growing, retaining length, why it's breaking, etc., etc. But ask yourself, mamas, do you have an effective regimen in place? And if your answer is no, no wonder why your hair isn't thriving. A good regimen is one of the foundations for healthy hair. And it's not just about products, mamas, it's about frequency. So how often you are caring for your hair. It's about your techniques when it comes to washing, detangling, moisturizing your hair, and just handling your hair in general. It's about good hair care practices, about the right tools, and just being consistent. These are the things that matters, mamas. So here's my solution, mamas. I want you to create a regimen that fits into your lifestyle, because if it doesn't fit into your lifestyle, it isn't going to happen. So it's really important that this regimen fits into your lifestyle as a busy mom. So I want you to start with the basics. Wash once a week, or maximum once every 2 weeks for 1 hour. You can have 1 hour wash days. I've shared before when I had loose natural hair how I had 1 hour wash days. If you haven't checked that video out, definitely check it out after this. It is possible. Condition with good detangling techniques, moisturize as needed and in sections, really important. and protect your hair with simple tension-free styles. And of course at night time you want to protect your hair with a silk or satin scarf to help with moisture retention, to help keep breakage at bay, to help with frizz, etc. Also, you want to remember to also trim your hair as needed. You don't need to be trimming your hair regularly. You want to trim your hair as and when needed. That's also going to help with length retention. These small steps make a huge difference. This is another key to length retention and hair that just stays on your head rather than breaks off. If you can do this, your hair will pay you back with so much love. Honestly, mamas, it's the simple things that counts. Do this consistently and your hair will thrive. Now mamas, I know we love a good protective hairstyle. You know, back in the days I used to love protective hairstyles. Protective hairstyles can be great, but a lot of times a lot of styles that we're doing, they aren't very protective and can cause our hair a lot of damage, a lot of breakage, traction alopecia. You have to care for your hair underneath these styles. So if you're doing a so-called protective style and you aren't able to care for your hair while it's in the protective style, then it isn't protective in the first place. You know, your hair still needs cleansing, it still needs moisturizing, it still needs TLC, even though it's in a protective style. So mamas, here's my solution. While your hair is in a protective style, be sure that you can still get to your scalp to keep it cleansed by washing it. If you don't like to wash your hair in a protective style, there are brands that have, you know, cleansing pads or cleansing spritzers that you could spritz on a cotton wool or the cleansing pad itself and use it to clean your scalp, to keep your scalp clean while it's in a protective style until you wash your hair or until you take the protective style out of your hair. So hopefully you're not keeping a protective style in your hair longer than 4 weeks, a maximum 6 weeks, and then you can get to wash your hair. And also when it comes to these protective styles, you also want to give your hair a break. So for example, if you're doing a protective style this month and you want to take it out in 4 weeks time, at least give your hair a break for a couple of months, 2 months minimum. Give your hair a break, give your hair all the TLC it needs, wash your hair regularly. That way you're still taking great care of your hair while your hair is in a protective style and when you're giving your hair a break when it's out of the protective style. So as I was saying before, you want to make sure that your scalp is cleansed well. If your scalp is cleansed well, your scalp will be moisturized and you will minimize dryness and flaky scalp while it's in the protective style. You want to keep your hair underneath this protective style conditioned. So for example, you could use like a conditioning spritz, like a leave-in spritz. If you had braids, for example, you could use this conditioning spritz your hair, and this will keep your hair soft, smooth and manageable while it's in a protective style. So when you do eventually take the protective style out, your hair is still soft and manageable and not dry and brittle and more likely to break off. Now mama, another thing I want us to be honest about is stress and how stress can wreak havoc on your hair. You know, when you're stressed, your body shows it, your body feels it, and your hair is not an exception. You know, hair thinning or shedding excessively can all be stress related. So here's my solution, mamas. Take time for self-care. Take time for yourself. Prioritize yourself, even if it's 30 minutes a day just for yourself. Whenever that is, whether it's first thing in the morning or at night, just take time for yourself. Breathe, meditate, read a book, do something that's just for you. You know, take time to relax, take time to de-stress. If you need to go and do your nails, go and do your nails. Just do something for you. Do something that's going to release that tension from your body. Do something that's going to make you feel less stressed. You know, ask for help, get someone to help cook meals, get someone to help clean the house. Just something that's going to make you less stressed. When you're less stressed, your hair's more likely to thrive. You know, when you feel good, your hair will reflect this. When you don't feel good and your body starts to shut down, your hair's the last place your body's thinking about helping. There are vital organs that your body is thinking about helping, and your hair comes last. So it's really, really important that you take care of yourself, mamas. As I've mentioned before, prioritize you because you deserve it. So mamas, another thing is your hair's health is a reflection of what's going on internally. But this time I'm focusing on nutrition, vitamin deficiency. If you're not getting enough vitamins and minerals in your body, it will show when it comes to the health of your hair. So here's my solution, mamas. Focus on having a balanced diet. And if you suspect that you may be deficient in any of the vitamins, particularly normally it's like vitamin D or iron, but if you suspect that you are deficient, please go and see your GP and request some blood works to be taken. These blood tests will show if you are deficient in any of these essential vitamins, and if you are, your doctor will be able to prescribe you the recommended dose of whatever you're deficient in. And this, mamas, will help a lot when it comes to the health of your body and your hair. Okay, mamas, so another reason why your hair isn't thriving is because you're over manipulating your hair. You're just handling your hair way too often. So whether that be always combing through your hair or always styling your hair, this is over manipulation, which can eventually lead to breakage. And if your hair is breaking off, you're not gonna see that length when it comes to your hair. You know, when it comes to our hair, I always say less is more. Less is more when it comes to combing or detangling your hair, and less is more when it comes to styling. So here's my solution. I'd recommend finding a simple tension-free style that will last for the week, so that you're not always switching up your styles if you're going to work, for example. And also when it comes to, for example, combing through your hair or detangling your hair, you want to save that for wash day. So if you're washing your hair every week or every 2 weeks, you only want to fully detangle your hair on wash day. This is a game changer, mama. If you can do this, you will see way more length retention, because your hair will be breaking off way less than it is if you were to be combing, detangling your hair all the time and styling your hair all the time. Another reason is heat damage. Heat damage is stunting your hair growth. So if you're someone that likes to use heat, so blow drying your hair or straightening your hair, if you're doing this regularly and not doing it well, so for example, you're using high heat and you're not even using heat protectants, for example, this can cause a lot of damage and can lead to breakage when it comes to your hair. You want to try to limit heat styling as much as possible. And if you are going to heat style your hair, you want to be sure that you're using low heat. And if you are going to do it, you want to make sure that you are using a heat protectant. You know, nowadays we have, you know, better blow dryers, for example, that cause less damage when it comes to our hair. You want to find a good blow dryer, for example, the Rev Air. That's one that a lot of people rave about. Rev Air, for example, be sure to use a heat protectant. Just be mindful when you're using heat so that your hair isn't compromised. This will result in healthier and stronger hair, even though you are using heat. It's the incorrect usage of heat that causes heat damage and damage in general when it comes to our hair. Another reason why your hair isn't thriving, mamas, is because you're not protecting your hair at night. Now, I know by the time nighttime hits, you're exhausted. I know for a fact that I'm exhausted when it comes to nighttime. But mamas, it's so important that even though you're tired, you still have to make sure that you protect your hair at night. So whether you're using a silk or satin pillowcase, or if you're using a silk or satin scarf, but the main important thing is to protect your hair while you sleep. And the main reason for this is because when we're sleeping on our cotton sheets, our cotton pillowcases, it is very rough on our hair. You know, the friction from our pillowcase, our cotton pillowcases, for example, can really strip moisture from our hair. It's becoming dry and more likely to break. It's just not going to be healthy for your hair. So you really want to make sure that even though you're tired, protect your hair. Honestly, that is really going to do wonders when it comes to your hair. And in the morning as well, you wake up with your hair already looking great, and you won't have to fuss around with your hair because you protected your hair while you're tossing and turning at night. Okay, mama, so the other reason why your hair isn't thriving is because you're not drinking enough water. Mamas, hydration from within is super important. If you're hydrating from within, your hair will be so much more healthier. So mamas, please drink enough water. And once again, I know we're busy, sometimes we don't even remember that we've eaten or not. It's really important that you drink enough water throughout the day. You know, they say that we should drink at least 8 glasses of water a day, so definitely get that in. This will help to keep your body hydrated, and if your body's hydrated, as I said, it will benefit your hair. Another thing that isn't helping your hair to thrive is something that you may not even think is important, and this is the lack of sleep. This is something that I don't see a lot of people talking about. You know, the lack of sleep affects so many things. Your energy levels, your mental state, clarity, it affects so many things, including your hair. You know, when you don't get enough rest, your body doesn't have enough time to repair itself, and that's including your hair follicles. So it's really, really important to make sleep a priority. It's not only beneficial for your body and your mind, but it's also, as I mentioned before, beneficial for your hair. We want to aim for at least 7 hours of sleep. 8 hours is even better, but at least 7, minimum 6 hours of sleep, so that your body can heal and your hair can grow healthy while you rest. Another important reason why your hair isn't thriving is the lack of exercise. This is another thing I don't really see many people talking about, especially in relation to your hair. When you exercise, it increases blood flow to your scalp, and if there's blood flow to your scalp, this helps to promote healthy hair growth. I'm talking about exercising. I recently started taking exercising quite seriously. So I've started, well, I haven't started, I've been doing this for about 7 months now, but I've been walking 10k steps. I got a walking pad and I've been using that to walk 10k steps 5 days a week, so Monday to Friday, and it is doing amazing in terms of my body. I've lost a bit of weight as well. You probably noticed from my face but I've lost a bit of weight as well, and overall I can see the benefits when it comes to exercising. You know, my locks are growing. So yeah, exercising is really, really beneficial for your body and for your hair. You know, you don't need to hit the gym hard. As I mentioned, just walking 10k steps a day. It doesn't even have to be 10k steps. It can be like 5k steps in the beginning, and you just work your way up to possibly 7k or 10k steps a day. But just getting moving regularly really, really helps. This is really going to do wonders when it comes to the health of your hair in general. Now mamas, with these simple changes that I've just been through with you, you'll be on the road to reclaiming your hair's health. I promise you. These are little changes here and there, but they'll make the biggest impact when it comes to your hair's health. And mamas, if you're struggling to find time, because I know time is something that we all struggle with, if you're struggling to find time, I want you to check out the video shown right now on the bottom left hand corner of this screen. In this video, I break it down, tell you how you can make time for yourself and your hair as a busy mom. All right, mama, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.